So acid reflux, otherwise known as GERD, affects up to potentially 20% of the US population, which is a huge number. That's 1 in 5 of you watching this video probably dealing with some type of it. And the large majority of people are placed on medications, especially proton pump inhibitors, or PPIs we'll call them for the sake of this video. And when you look at the warning label on the box of PPIs, they basically said they're meant to be used for short term only. But the majority of people I meet are on them for very long periods of time, often years and years and even decades. So for most people, they're actually dealing with an acid imbalance or a gut microbiome imbalance that's not that they have too much acid, which is what these drugs are given for, but it's usually either not enough acid or just everything's out of balance. So by doing simple dietary things like avoiding processed foods and sugars and eating more fermented foods and good quality meats and fruits and things like that to infuse your gut microbiome with better bacteria, that can often rebalance everything and get rid of all the acid reflux problem in the first place without needing those drugs. In addition to that, there's a bunch of natural remedies that you can also add on top of cleaning up your diet, because sometimes cleaning your diet initially will take too long for what you'd like, or it's just not doing the job fast enough. So we know that basically all chronic health issues start in the gut, and acid reflux and GERD, part of that. There's nothing different going on here. So let's have a look at some of the research that backs up what I'm saying. In one of the head and neck surgery journals, they took 185 roughly people, and they had one group just on the PPIs and one group on a Mediterranean diet, but for both groups, they took away processed foods and sugars. Now on the Mediterranean diet, that's going to be a diet high in fruits, healthy fats, lean meats, nuts, vegetables, things like that. I will always throw the precaution out there if someone wants to eat that way that you have to watch out for lectins, which are really high in a lot of vegetables and nuts. So we have to be careful there because of the damage those can create on the gut. But basically at the end of it, by both groups removing all these reflux triggers, so not just sugar and processed foods, but alcohol, chocolate, coffee, greasy foods, things like that, both groups did really well. It's just the group on the Mediterranean diet did even better than the drug group. There's so many research studies out there that are showing this over and over again, that show the damaging side effects and dangers of taking these medications, and showing how good dietary changes can be for improving that reflux. I'm going to read some notes here for you. There's another one from the British Journal of Clinical Pharmacology where they looked at PPIs as well as all the other types of acid reflux drugs. And they looked at over 500,000 people and found that those taking heartburn drugs had between almost a 2 to a 4 increased risk of developing C. diff and some other very nasty bacterial infections. Those cause massive inflammation in your bowel and in your stomach. They can cause all sorts of vomiting and nausea and cramping, and they can kill you. So again, if food and drugs were equal, let alone that food seems to be doing better than it, why wouldn't we push food over these drugs? And again, I could list over and over and over the research studies that back this up and all these side effects that a lot of people don't even realize that are there. If you've been taking these drugs for a long time, did you know there's a lot of research that shows they greatly increase your risk of dementia? I mean, dementia's going through the roof anyway right now. It's the last thing we want to do. Now, why does it do that? There's a strong link that these PPIs can increase the beta amyloid plaques that are forming in the brain that are strongly linked to causing dementia. We know that if you have more of those, you're almost certainly going to have more dementia. Long-term use of PPIs will also increase your risk of chronic kidney disease. Your death of any cause goes up. There was a research study that looked at about 350,000 veterans over 6 years, and when they used PPIs, there was nearly a 20% more likely death of any cause than people who didn't use them. So the longer you use these drugs, the greater the risk that you're shortening your life. I know acid reflux symptoms can be really bad, but is that really worth it? They've also been linked to heart disease and heart attacks because they affect the way our body produces nitric oxide and gets it into the blood vessels. See, the list just goes on and on and on and on. And again, for most people, not all, because I know some of you watching this will say, I've done all the food changes and it still didn't make it go away. I get it. Hey, Dr. Rodney here. If you want to get my free PDF, 5 hacks for boosting your immune system, just go into the description of this video, click on the link, download it, and if you have any questions on it, just send me a message and I'll help you out with it. For some of you, you still didn't give enough time. For some of you, you probably haven't got to the real heart of what's going on. Maybe you've got parasites or Lyme disease bacteria or something else in the gut that's stirring that up. But for the vast majority of people, if you get rid of the triggers, especially processed foods and sugars, and you eat a healthy diet, in my opinion, I think the research should focus more on carnivore. I don't think Mediterranean goes far enough. I think Mediterranean also has too many things that can damage you, like I said before, like the lectins and oxalates that are high in a lot of these vegetables and nuts. I've found most of my patients dealing with acid reflux when they go carnivore and we add some natural supplements over the top, they tend to do really well. So what are those supplements? Well, the DGL, I never say this word right, the deglycerinated licorice root is really good. Apple cider vinegar is really good. Aloe juice is really good. They've shown that even getting your omega-3 balance and vitamin D is going to help. Basically, prebiotics and fermented foods, anything that is going to help rebalance the microbiome and rebalance our acid production is all going to help. And then when we're eating food like a healthy carnivore diet, lots of eggs, lots of organic fruit, lots of grass-fed meat and organs, you're not only making a better microbial diversity in your gut microbiome, which is going to help anyway, but you're removing all the stuff that could be stirring you up in the first place and creating leaky gut and creating all that inflammation. Then some of you will need to add other things like running through some protocols to open up your drainage pathways and kill off the parasites, because if you're still having acid reflux after cleaning up your diet for 6 months and taking aloe juice, apple cider vinegar, the DGL, all that kind of stuff, if you still have acid reflux, then that's your clue that there's still something else going on underneath. For clues on how to deal with that, go watch any of my videos on parasites or chronic health issues, because we dive into that in a lot of depth. So the 2 things I want you to know if you've made it this far. Number 1, if this has been useful, click that subscribe button, because I'm doing a lot more videos on these kind of things. And number 2, if you need help with this kind of stuff, go down into the description of this video and let's either do a discovery call together, or if you want to get your hands on some DGL or aloe juice, just join FullScript and then send me a message when you've done it, and I can recommend my favorite brands for you straight to your profile so that you can just do one click and go get them. FullScript makes that really easy for you.